I was hoping to get into that sooner, so it's pretty cool that we'll be bringing that soon up in there.
I've never heard of that at all. Like, I really haven't. I thought the Llorona came from New Mexico, but you tell me that it came from Colorado. That she came from Colorado, and so I don't, and I don't know.
Yeah. So the other one was the Llorona was one of the really good ones is Marcos. That's your family, huh? Marcos, how you doing, Marcos?
He's a friend of mine.
Oh, I thought he was your family or something. That's cool. Thank you, Marcos, for tuning in.
Yep. Thanks, Marcos.
So we'll also get into. I know it's kind of beat, but I still want we still want to talk about El Chupacabra. Go ahead, you say the name better than I do. I cannot say the Latin words that great. It's messed up.
You can't know your R's.
El Chupacabra. There it goes.
There you go. See? You did it, Mr. Diaz.
I know. So we'll be doing that. We have several. I'm just kind of looking over the list and see which ones we can get into as far as the conspiracy stuff that we have planned out for you guys. So like I said, it's going to be a lot. And if you're just tuning in, make sure that you inbox us and give us your conspiracies, and we will get back with you right away, and we'll get it on the air. If it's a really good one, we're interested. I've been wanting to talk conspiracies for a long time. The other one that's just been brought back up within the last year, Lisa, is the flat Earth. Have you heard about that?
No.
They're trying.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're trying to say that the Earth is flat again.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't know about that because I don't believe that one at all.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. But
that one right there does not make any sense to me at all. It just doesn't make sense because it just doesn't. Wouldn't somebody eventually walk off the edge of the Earth? Come on. Don't you think? Somebody would have looked up by now.
That one is, I think that's scientifically proven that the Earth is round, to be honest with you. But for some reason, it's been brought back up. So it's kind of crazy. We briefly brought up the Mandela effect. And one of the biggest ones out of that is the Sinbad situation, where this is the one Desiree did. So if you can go back to, I think, episode 22, she did the Mandela effect, the conspiracy show. Go to Desiree Pickett's podcast, check it out, and let her know what you think on that.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah. So it's she brought up Sinbad. Sorry about that. And does anybody remember if he played a genie in a movie?
Yeah. See, and okay. Now, honestly, I remember him playing a genie.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He didn't. I mean, he even says himself that it wasn't him. However, why does everybody remember him doing that? I could just, like in my head, I can have this memory of sitting in front of the TV and out watching it. And there's a lot of people out there that have the same memory. I mean, maybe not the same sitting in front of the same television, but they have the same memory of the same movie that he played a genie in, and he never did. And that's a fact. He didn't.
Yeah, he did say that he hosted a Sinbad. I think it was for Sinbad, the sailor, or the old. You remember the old thing we grew up on. He hosted something like that back in the days where he dressed up as a genie, but he never played in a movie as a genie. Yeah,
I think it was Sinbad, the Eye of the Tiger, or something.
Yeah.
Something. Now, I mean, maybe there was that, and I can understand, how you would think one up with the other. They almost dress the same. However,
him and
I
Shaq.
was aware that I saw him, like coming out of a genie lamp.
Yeah.
Okay, so but he says he never played a genie. So, where'd the memory come from then?
Okay, so I'm going to go back to alternate universes again. That's why I wanted to start the show with alternate universes. What if he really did play a genie in an alternate universe? What if he was the one that did the Shaq movie that everybody's talking about? And I saw the Shaq movie. That was everybody. The critics said the movie was terrible. The movie was actually pretty good. But I saw it when I was like 16, so I thought the movie was pretty good. I haven't seen it since, but I think I'm going to go back and watch it. One I wanted to bring up was I'm pretty sure of the name. This is a Mandela effect. Is Starstrucker. It's a James Bond movie where they're in outer space. It's a sci-fi movie. And a situation that happens in there, the whole thing is changed. And this movie was made before I was born, I think. And I actually remember watching it, though, as a kid and remembering why the two people liked each other. So this is another conspiracy theory that we'll be bringing up soon. So it's going to be pretty interesting when we get to that as far as the Mandela effect is. There you go, Marcos. You know. Shazam. He got it right. I wasn't reading the comments to right now.
Oh, yeah, he's commenting in there. I haven't been able to respond yet, but Shazam, that's what he said, right?
Yeah, he knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, he knows what we're talking about. But a lot of people think it was Sinbad. And
and you know that there's a big difference between Shaq and Sinbad, right?
Yeah, quite a bit.
About the only thing that they have in common is that they're both big men,
Yeah.
And they do not look alike at all whatsoever. So how could we have mixed those two people up? There's no way.
Okay, so I had talked to you earlier, and I told my mom when I was about 9 or 10 years old. A kid's not supposed to know this stuff, and I used to tell her that history was changing, and she didn't believe me. I said history is changing. It's not the way that it's been written in books anymore. The book has changed, and she didn't. Maybe she believed me. I don't know. Maybe she thought I was just a crazy kid or something. But
I think it's true to a point. Well, okay, then you got to think about it. Okay, the history books that our parents studied from have been rewritten since. Okay, now, as you know, like gossip, right? You hear a good story, and I tell you, and you tell somebody else, and somebody adds something, a little detail along the way, and before you know it, by the time and that's a proven theory because you can have a group of people standing in a circle and, say one sentence, and by the time it gets back to you, it's not the same sentence that you said.
Yes.
Okay. So that might be why history is changing. They've had different authors. They've rewritten, the books on history. Of course, somebody probably, it's human nature, to add something or to describe something else. And maybe that's one logical explanation of why history is, quote unquote, changing.
Okay, so real quick, I want to bring up time travel, which is something I've been interested in, intrigued in since I was a youth. Okay, thank you, Mike. I'll talk to Steve after we get done with the podcast. I go to work we go to work at 4 a.m, so I'll talk with him at 4 a.m. about it. we'll talk about the email. But I really appreciate it, Mike Miller. You're awesome. Shout out to Mike Miller, who's in the podcast, who's in the chat right now listening to us. Shout out to Marcos Garcia. You guys are very cool. I know we have a couple. Oh, Jasmine's in the podcast. Steve was in earlier. Shout out to you. And there was somebody else in there. Lanessa, is that your family?
Lanessa?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah.
That's your family?
No,
Oh, okay.
And Jasmine's in there.
Where does the show originate from? Dallas, Texas. Mike Miller, Dallas, Texas. But I'm in Denver, Colorado, and Lisa Trujillo is in Roswell, New Mexico. Roswell, New Mexico. So we will have the Roswell 1947 crash and UFO conspiracy theory coming up too.
Yes.
Man, that's cool, Mike. We really if you're up after Mike, if you're still up after we get done, we should talk. I'll give you my number. Inbox ideas, and then I'll give you my phone number, and then we'll talk a little more if you're still available after we get done with the podcast. But I want to get into time travel, and I want to see if anybody in the chat, if you're in the chat, let me know how you feel about time travel, because like I said, it's the most intriguing thing to me in my life. I've been looking at time travel since I was like 4 or 5 years old. I can remember that far back, talking about time travel, trying to figure out how time travel works, because I know it does work, and I know it's happening, because that's why we have these Mandela effects, or like I said, alternate universe. Excuse me. So what's your take on time travel for right now?
Okay. So you think that somebody has gone back in time and changed one event which
could alter the whole universe?
Well, I guess that's one theory. I can't dispute nor agree with it, because I agree that, I guess at this point anything's possible. I don't know how it changes, but I don't know about the time travel thing, really. I can't disagree with it, but it doesn't really make... how would you try time travel? How would somebody time travel?
McFly. No, I had to get you with that joke right there. You know, I'm real serious tonight.
Yeah. Well, it didn't turn out too well for him. So, how would you do that? Or maybe, I guess, just somebody just intelligent enough to do that, awesome. Then they should speak up and let us know that that's what, that they're the intelligent ones, because I don't even know that would be possible. I don't even think that it would be. So I don't know about the time travel thing. I really don't. I don't agree with that. I don't think.
Okay, so you don't see time travel being a possibility in the future, or us knowing about it, or?
No, I just don't think that it's possible. I just think that that's an impossible thing to do. It's not possible. We can't even get to the moon.
What do you mean? We've been to the moon several times.
Supposedly, have you been there?
Oh, you're talking about privately.
Have you been there? We can't even get to the moon. If this alien thing proves, to be true, then those beings on other planets throughout the universe are already coming here, and we can't even go to another planet yet. We're not that intelligent. So how would we time travel?
I think that the universe and aliens are two different two different things that people will have a whole lot of different opinions about.
Because I can't. I really don't think that